Turboant has long established themselves as a leader in electric scooters, not the kind that you see people tooling around the aisles of Walmart or hitting you in the backs of your legs at lines at Disney, but the kind that you would rent from somebody like Lime or Bird. They recently entered the e-bike market and they sent me a Thunder T1 for evaluation. The too long didn't watch is that the Thunder T1 offers a lot of familiar components at a relatively low price of $1,700. It's not the same exact thing as e-bikes costing more, but I think that most e-bike purchasers will be happy with the value that it offers in a multi-surface capable e-bike. The Thunder T1 is one of 4 e-bikes recently introduced by Turboant, a leader in personal electric mobility products. Currently only available in the black shown here, the Thunder T1 is built on a 60/61 aluminum frame sized for riders from 5 foot 3 inches to 6 foot 4 inches tall. The 48 volt, 14 amp hour Samsung battery is semi-integrated into the frame, providing up to 60 miles of range for a conservative rider. It powers a Bafang 750 watt hub motor sitting inside 26-inch wheels wrapped in 4-inch wide Kenda Juggernaut tires. Tektro Aries mechanical calipers grab 180mm rotors front and rear, with the rear taillight lighting up as a brake light anytime a caliper is pulled. The Thunder T1 sports a headlight up front, though as with many e-bikes in the price category, you'll probably want a brighter headlight for trail riding in the dark. That's probably why Turboant offers a brighter light as an upgrade for $50. Human power is delivered via a 42-tooth chainring in the front and a Shimano 7-speed freewheel in the back. The Shimano Tourney derailleur is matched to the Tourney thumb shifter familiar to most e-bikes on the road today, a combination that has long proven itself to be very reliable. Under the thumb shifter sits a true half-twist throttle with lockout. I found this throttle the easiest to modulate power to the motor out of any twist throttle I've used so far. The lockout is intended for riders who want to disable the throttle when manipulating the bike, though I'll spend a lot more time on what I think about this feature later in the video. The control pad is integrated into a large LCD display. The buttons may look small, but they're easy to find with their spacing and location on the left side. In the middle of the bars is a Pro Max adjustable stem, a feature not typically found on e-bikes in this price range. It offers 70 degrees of rotation to allow riders to adapt the bar position to their preference with just an Allen key, meaning that not only can you easily adjust this yourself, you can even adjust it in the field as you dial in your preferred position. RST supplies their excellent Springer fork, complete with adjustable hydraulic preload and lockout. Its 80mm of travel is good enough for broken pavement and potholes, as well as off-pavement bumps and ruts. Polymer fenders front and rear come standard to keep junk off you and your Thunder T1. The Thunder T1 comes mostly assembled and includes all the tools you'll need to finish the job. I found it well packed to protect it from damage during shipping, including a rear wheel brace stiff enough to hold the bike during assembly. Anyone capable of assembling a bookshelf should be able to complete assembly of the Thunder T1, though any competent bike shop could do the job if you preferred. I spent about 30 minutes getting it ready to ride, including adjusting the stem to my preferred riding position. If you aren't sure whether or not this is something you want to tackle, be sure to watch Turboant's assembly video because it shows the entire process. The Turboant Thunder T1 is set up from the factory as a Class 2 e-bike with pedal assist and throttle limited to maximum motor help of 20 miles per hour. They do make the claim that it's capable of up to 28 miles per hour, which suggests that you can change it to a Class 3 e-bike. That would be 28 miles per hour maximum pedal assist, still 20 miles per hour maximum throttle assist. They don't provide instructions on how to do that in the included manual, but that probably means that somewhere there's a secret combination of buttons on the controller that allow you to change the maximum pedal assist speed up to 28 miles per hour. Always get a good test of the brakes very early in this test route. And these are the mechanical Tektro Aries 180mm disc brakes. As I always say, they are fine for the vast majority of the riding that I do, including providing stopping power down this steep and bouncy hill. The throttle is available with pedal assist set to 0. Yay! I always love that. That is absolutely my preference because I like to get a workout when I ride my e-bikes, and so I keep pedal assist at 0 as much as possible. And it's nice to be able to just blip the throttle to get help over a climb or to squirt away from traffic without having to first select a pedal assist level. The Thunder T1 does come standard with a feature that most e-bikes in this price category don't have, and that's an adjustable stem. You can actually adjust it yourself to get further reach like I like to have, or to bring the bars closer to you. The one drawback with how all of these work is that as the bars come closer, they also come higher, but those things tend to be correlated in what people are looking for anyway. So you can actually take this bike, set it up for a rider like myself that likes a more aggressive riding position, that doesn't mind pressure on my hands, or you can set it up for a rider that prefers a very upright riding position. I could get the bars about here, no problem. I think that's actually a really neat feature to have on the bike. You do have to realize though that the stem is longer than you're typically gonna find for a non-adjustable stem. And what that means is when you have it in the lower positions, you will have a longer reach than you would have with a non-adjustable stem set up on this bike. Can I get some pedal assist here? The pedal assist system is what's known as cadence based. What that means is each pedal assist level is associated with pretty much a fixed amount of watts that are sent to the motor. What I like about that over speed-based pedal assist is it gives me better control, not only over whatever power I'm getting at any given time, because I'm telling the motor how much power to get, but it also means that at slow speeds, I'm not fighting a massive dump of power to the motor for control of the bike, which can happen with speed-based pedal assist systems. It's a very gradual change in the wattage from the 5 different levels of pedal assist. Coming around this turn is a really good time to talk about the tires. These tires are okay as far as traction goes on multiple surfaces. They're not my favorite fat tire e-bike tires for 2 reasons. One is they don't have the bite leaning into a turn like something like the Kender Crusades have, but also because of how the knob pattern is on the bike and the extreme bias of the tire itself, when you lean over, it kind of pulls the wheel to that direction. It is not uncontrollable by any stretch, but if you have this bike and you notice what I'm talking about and it bothers you, the solution is not to get a new bike. It's just to get new tires. And my recommendation for a fat tire e-bike always is the Kender Crusades. I have no relationship with them. I just really like those tires. The shifter is the same Shimano Tourney thumb shifter found on the vast majority of e-bikes in this price range. It is connected to a Tourney derailleur in the back, which is a little bit below the level of derailleurs that are commonly found on fat tire e-bikes in this price range. But I'll be honest, once it's set up, you're probably not going to notice any difference whatsoever. At that level of components, the biggest difference between the different levels in the Shimano line comes down to how much you have to turn or twist or adjust to get them dialed in the first place. But that's done at the factory. Oh, this has a really nice ride. It's got a very good wheelbase, and I am actually loving a return to this RST branded hydraulic fork. It's not a premium fork, but for this kind of riding, it has a very premium feel to it. The saddle is unbranded, but it has the exact same look and feel as a Velo saddle that they supply OEM to a number of other manufacturers. So if it's not actually Velo supplying it, I'm sure it's a factory that makes it for Velo that is supplying it. And so what that means is I like it as an OEM saddle. It's the right combination of support, the right amount of cushioning without being so wide that it cuts into the back of my legs when I'm really trying to put a lot of human power into the pedals. The Throttle is an older style half twist throttle that used to come on a lot of e-bikes from different manufacturers. And I just ran into one of the issues right there as I was about to talk about it. It has a cutoff button. So you push the button in, you have throttle, you click it out, and you don't have throttle. It's designed as a safety feature. But my background, which many of you actually know from my other YouTube channel, is in evaluating firearms, design and use. And this would not pass muster as a safety of any kind because you can't just look at it and reliably know whether the throttle is active or not. You definitely can't feel it. And those are the two things that it should have to be a valid safety. It should be a rocker switch, really. A rocker switch that has very strong detents where you can look at it and see it's in the off position. You can look at it and see it's in the on position. It's just an in and out switch, and the difference between out and in is not a whole lot. What I do like about this throttle is that it's very easy to modulate how much power is going to the motor. A lot of twist throttles going on e-bikes now are really just on-off switches. It is very, very difficult to modulate the power at all with the twist of the throttle, even if it's possible in the first place. Some of them, I can't do it. All right, pedal assist level 5. Yeah, that's good horsepower. The motor doesn't feel like it has the low end torque of other 750 watt motors, but it definitely has the horsepower. Once you start getting some RPMs up, it pulls really well. I will say that the pedal assist cutoff is pretty abrupt. It's a lot of power, then it shuts off. And then when you slow down, the power comes on pretty fast again. It's not nearly as smooth as the same kind of feature on e-bikes from other manufacturers. I'm 5'8" with a 30-inch inseam, and this top tube is a little high. I'm resting on it pretty firmly. It's not pushing into my pubic bone or anything like that. I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable, just to give you an idea of what the standover height really is in practice. It's not a big factor for a rider like me. I tend to stand off to the side and lean the top tube on a thigh anyway. All right. Oh, see, I accidentally hit that button just moving my bike around and cut the throttle off. So it is available at 0 pedal assist, which is good, as long as you didn't accidentally hit that button. And so it's one thing to not have throttle when you want it. The real problem is when you think the throttle is deactivated, you accidentally hit the button and then you get throttle when you don't want it. Yeah, this fork is great. Oh yeah, I can just push this right into a speed bump. I really like the fork on this. And then broken pavement, oh yeah. This is great. This is fantastic. Here's this little climb where I start to think about the gear ratios. There's no granny gear and gears in the back. The chainring itself is on the smaller side. I'll roll in the exact figures here because I don't remember them off the top of my head. What that means is the 7 speeds that you have are spaced nice and tight for a rider like me, and it allows me to keep my cadence up high. If you're someone who likes to pedal more slowly, you might find that you run out of gears at that 20 mile per hour cutoff for the pedal assist, which also means that if you're hoping to convert this to class 3, you might find you're really spinning. While I wish it had a true granny gear, almost no hub motored e-bike actually does. I actually am very happy with their choice of chainring and gears in the back. Nice. Yeah, so I have pedal assist at 0, just using throttle, and that's getting me up to 20 miles per hour. But you can see I'm in 7th gear and this is my turnover. It's fine for me. It's about my preference for that, maybe even up to 22 miles an hour. But I think most people will find themselves bouncing all over the place, trying to keep up at speeds higher than that. Yeah, so this is slightly uphill, wind in my chest, and it's keeping me about 19.8 miles per hour. I really like the integrated display and control pad. All of the data is displayed nice and big, very easy for my 51-year-old eyes to see at a quick glance. It doesn't have a wattage meter. Most e-bikes actually do not, even though I would love to have that. It's not that big a deal that it doesn't. The buttons, plus and minus, are spaced widely, so it's very easy for you to know which one you hit. And the power button, it's set up so that if you accidentally tap it, the way you would tap the plus or minus buttons, it doesn't shut the bike off. You have to press and hold it. So you're very unlikely to accidentally turn your bike off when you're manipulating the pedal assist settings. Haven't had it happen. Like other fat tire e-bikes in its category, the Thunder T1 is not the same thing as a dedicated mountain bike, but it is quite capable of doing more aggressive riding than a lot of people are gonna ask of it for sure. Oh yeah, it just glides over things. That fork is very nice. Throttle at 0 pedal assist for stuff like that is nice. I think the big limiter, yeah, it's the grip of the tires. I don't feel as much bite going into the corners with these tires. Whew, yeah, a little squirrely. I feel comfortable going straight fast and over whoops like this, yeah. I just, whew. Got to scrub the speed off before I turn. It's very nice in the straights. I think this would be super awesome just changing the tires out. Woo! Just like that, front end washed out. Oh, and I hit the throttle button by accident and shut it off. Yeah. Not a fan of that. Okay, I got pedal assist 5, and I've done this ride a couple times to know, yeah, this is that little steep, yeah, it's just, even though it's a 750 watt Bafang, I don't know what their claimed torque to the ground is. It's not as high as pretty much any other motor that is listed as a 750 watt motor from Bafang, even ones that don't peak above 750 watts. Very interesting. So it could be the gearing is just set up more for top speed. Now this is steeper climbing than you're usually gonna find paved. So keep that in perspective. Yeah, so I think the Thunder T1 offers a better fork, a better ride, more fine control over the motor using the throttle, but you give up a little bit of that low end torque for climbing steeper grades, and you end up with this button that you can bump and completely disable the throttle when you don't want to. I think it's a fair trade-off in the price category. You just have to understand whether or not it fits what you're looking for in an e-bike. Turboant didn't use any magic to hit the $1,700 price point for the Thunder T1. The components are not going to be the same in much more expensive bikes than this, but the components in the Thunder T1 are going to offer plenty of the performance that many e-bike buyers are looking for. Plus, the frame, the motor, the battery, the components are backed by a 2-year warranty, which is twice the industry standard. Turboant also offers a version with an integrated battery called the Nebula N1. It has a cleaner look and 10% more battery capacity, though the other components and geometry are listed as being exactly the same as the Thunder T1. It really comes down to the look you prefer, I think, making the $200 premium of the Nebula N1 potentially worth it over the Thunder T1. It just comes down to your personal taste. If you're interested in getting a Thunder T1 or any Turboant product for yourself, please use the link in the video description to place your order. It supports the channel. Be sure to subscribe for more e-bike videos. I really appreciate you watching The Tech of Tech, and I hope to see you next time.